Your dog does it constantly. While you're eating, while you're working, even when you're doing absolutely nothing. They just stare at you. Most people think it's because the dog wants food, or attention, or they're just being weird. But the truth is much deeper than that. Because when your dog looks at you for long periods of time, they're often doing something profoundly emotional. They're checking if they're safe. They're reading your emotions. And sometimes they're trying to feel close to the person they trust most in the world. Your dog cannot speak your language, so they spend their entire life studying instead your face, your tone, your breathing, your mood. And once you understand why your dog watches you so carefully, you stop seeing just staring. You start realizing your dog has been silently communicating with you all day long. Most dog owners never realize this. Research on canine behavior suggests dogs evolved specifically to observe humans in ways wolves never fully did. Your dog is not simply living beside you, they are emotionally attached to you. In many cases, your dog watches you the same way a small child watches a parent in an unfamiliar room. Not because they're confused, because you are their emotional reference point. And this is where owners accidentally misunderstand their dogs. Sometimes we think staring is annoying, needy, manipulative, so we ignore it. But many dogs are not asking for something physical at all. They're looking for emotional reassurance, a tiny signal, a glance, a voice, a calm reaction, something that tells them, "You're okay, I'm here." And once you start noticing these moments, you realize your dog has been trying to connect with you in quiet ways this entire time. 1. The soft eye contact, one of the biggest signs, is soft staring. Not intense, not frozen, just calm eye contact from across the room. From your dog's perspective, this is bonding behavior. Research has shown that relaxed eye contact between dogs and humans can actually increase oxytocin, the same bonding hormone involved between parents and children. Your dog isn't just looking at you, they're emotionally connecting with you. And many owners miss this because they assume the dog is bored. But imagine spending your whole life loving someone who never notices the way you look at them. The next time your dog softly watches you, don't immediately look away. Pause, look back calmly, speak gently. That tiny moment matters more to your dog than you think. 2. Following you with their eyes. Have you ever noticed your dog tracking you around the house without even moving? You stand up, and their eyes follow. You walk into another room, they watch until you disappear. This is usually attachment behavior. Your dog has learned that you are the center of safety, activity, and predictability in their world. But here's what most people misunderstand. A dog doesn't always follow with their eyes because they're obsessed. Sometimes they're making sure the person they trust hasn't disappeared unexpectedly, especially rescue dogs, anxious dogs, or dogs left alone for long hours. To them, losing sight of you can create genuine stress. This doesn't mean you should never leave your dog alone. It means you should help them feel secure when you do. Create predictable routines. Avoid dramatic exits. And when you return home, greet them calmly instead of turning arrivals into emotional chaos. Because emotional stability is what actually helps dogs feel safe. 3. The checking your face stare. Some dogs stare directly at your face after. Something changes emotionally after you raise your voice, after an argument, after you start crying. This is one of the most misunderstood behaviors in dogs. Your dog is reading emotional information. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to facial expressions, tone shifts, and body language. They may not understand your words, but they absolutely sense emotional energy. And sometimes when owners are stressed, they accidentally think the dog is being clingy. But from the dog's perspective, they may be trying to understand. Are we okay? Your dog often notices your emotional changes before anyone else does. The practical response here is simple. When you're stressed, try speaking calmly to your dog anyway. Even a few seconds of reassurance helps, because your emotional state becomes part of their emotional environment. 4. The intense stare before needs now sometimes. Yes, your dog is trying to communicate a need, but even this is deeper than people realize. A dog staring at you before dinner, before a walk or before going outside isn't simply demanding something. They're attempting communication. Your dog spends their life learning patterns. They study what works. Which look gets your attention? Which sound makes you react? Which behaviors connect them to you? In many ways, staring is your dog's version of talking. And the important thing is not punishing communication. Some owners unintentionally teach dogs that attempts to communicate are ignored. Then later, they wonder why the dog becomes destructive or anxious. Instead, reward calm communication. Notice the signals early. The goal isn't obedience alone, it's mutual understanding. 5. The stare while you sleep or rest. Many owners discover this accidentally. They wake up and their dog is already staring at them, quietly, patiently, almost protectively. This behavior often comes from attachment and monitoring instincts. Your dog feels safest when they know where you are and what state you're in. In the wild, social animals constantly monitor members of their group. Your dog still carries pieces of that instinct. And honestly, this one hits people emotionally for a reason. Because your dog may spend hours every day simply waiting for moments with you. Not because their life is empty, because you are their favorite part of it. The best thing you can do in response? Give them intentional moments back. Not distracted moments. Real ones. Sit with them. Walk slowly sometimes. Put the phone down occasionally. To your dog, your attention feels like closeness. 6. The hard stare you shouldn't ignore now. Not every stare is emotional bonding. Sometimes staring signals discomfort or anxiety, a stiff body, wide eyes, frozen posture. This is different. This is your dog trying to communicate emotional overload. And many bites happen because owners miss these early warning signs. The dog was communicating long before the growl. This is where understanding body language becomes an act of trust. Never punish a dog for communicating discomfort. Instead, create space. Reduce pressure. Help the dog feel safe again. Because emotionally secure dogs rarely need to escalate. Your dog communicates with you every single day, not through words, through glances, through waiting, through quiet observation. And the strange thing is, most of the deepest communication happens in moments humans barely notice. A look across the room, a pause at the doorway. A dog simply watching the person they love most exists. So the next time your dog stares at you, don't immediately dismiss it. There's a good chance your dog isn't asking for food. They're asking for connection. And once you start seeing those small emotional signals, your relationship with your dog changes forever. Not because your dog changed, because you finally understood what they were trying to say all along.